Hello, Zach here again with another random map game, and today we have the Viper and Twick Mahori, and these guys are playing a Hun War. Yeah, maybe unfortunate that they're playing a Hun War, but I can guarantee you this is a good game. Someone sent me this game, and believe it or not, I will reveal who sent me this game actually at the end of the game. I'm not going to spoil anything just yet. So yeah, this is guaranteed to be a good one. And who do we actually have playing? Well, in red we have the Viper playing on his Buzz the Viper name, and down to the very bottom of the map. His opponent, Twick Mahori in blue, over up to the I know, top right sort of the map over here. And of course it is Arabia, because what else would you play on when you are playing Huns? I do often ask myself that question. I've actually been practicing a lot of Arabia Huns recently, and to be honest, it's one of those things. It's kind of, I don't know, it's a bit repetitive, but there are many options you can do with it. There are different things you can do with it, and it's one of the best ways to practice the game. If you want to get good, practice Arabia Huns in 1v1 and use that as your starting point. It's usually a very good way to go about doing things, and in my opinion, I think it's got to be one of the best ways to learn how to play 1v1 in Age of Empires. Though it does lack a little bit of variety, it's not such a big deal, because there are still a variety of strategies that you can still use. So, as requested by many of you, I'm going to keep Fog of War on, and we're actually going to watch the Viper in this game. And I'm just going to keep the Fog of War on so we can see exactly what he can see at any given time, and it should give us a much better indication of how he's going to approach this one and how he's actually going to play it. Because obviously you may frown upon a player's decision in a certain moment, but until you realize what they can actually see, then you're not going to have any idea actually, whether that was the right decision at the time for them to make, because you can't see it from their point of view. Viper with 5 villagers on berries here, and that's kind of unusual. We only usually see 4, but it seems to me like he's trying to get a bit of extra food, and he's going to go for a 22 pop up as loom, and up he goes, and that is a pretty standard start. It's very usual that players will go for 22 population, get loom, and then upgrade to feudal age, and he's going to do just that. I'm pretty sure Mahori will be doing exactly the same. There really are very few other ways you can actually start an Arabia Huns game, but once you get to the feudal age, that's where the variation can begin. And we are feudal now, so I will resume at normal speed. Of course, Viper's already got his barracks up. That is always something that you get halfway to feudal, and it should be done by the time you reach feudal, so that you can plonk down your second building, which in Viper's case is a stable. His scouting tells him that there's a stable from Mahori right there, just caught that, and that means Viper knows that Mahori is going stable, and he may even decide to attack a villager. He's going to go and attack that villager there, I'm sure, just to delay this a little bit more, because delaying a building, even just by attacking it with the villager that's building it, even if it's delaying it for 5 seconds, that's 5 seconds that your opponent is never going to get back. So at the moment it looks very clear that both these guys are going to go for scouts, and again, that's kind of expected. I mean, we can either see scouts or purely just archers at the start, but though it is usually a common practice that players go for scouts and then archers, maybe 3 scouts, and then they add 2 archery ranges and a blacksmith, and then they will go for archers and skirmishers. And so far we have no idea whether Mahori is going to go for that build, and we'll have a look at what Viper's actually doing and decide what he is going to do. Well, for the time being, he's got 5 villagers on berries, and he's still getting sheep, but no villagers on gold just yet. And to be fair, his gold is in a pretty bad place. It's really on a hill here, which makes it very awkward, and his gold at the front on this side is in a bad spot also. His other gold, well, I can't even see how it's over this side again, so not a good position for the Viper's gold here. So at the moment he's not actually gathering any gold, he's just going purely into farms and wood, which can only really mean one thing. It means he's going to continue making scouts. Well, I don't know how you would build a scout, but regardless, he's going to go with scouts, it seems, and it's unusual to see more than 4 or 5 scouts at the start of a game. Perhaps he's going to add some villagers to gold a little later on and go for the archers a little bit later, but for now he's going to continue to make his scouts, and We will see a blacksmith from him a little bit later on. Whether he's going to go for fletching or whether he's going to go for some scout upgrades, we'll have to see. He's also moving out with a spearman, and obviously another very common practice is to make a spearman and put it on your wood camp over here, for instance, where the villagers gathering wood are very likely to get attacked by scouts or something like that. And just the spearman alone is enough to deter 2 or 3 scouts. And Viper, scouting ahead with his spearman now, can see that there are scouts in this stable, and he's sending his spearman forwards. A is a scout, and B, it's very good at killing scouts. So a lot of scouting going on, and Viper now going to move out. It looks like he's going to go and attack round the other side, and oh, in comes Mahori into the Viper's base with his 4 scouts, as I say, and he's going to get a villager there. Not sure if he got her, actually. He may just have done it. I'm pretty sure he did, and that was very close. He did lose a scout in the process, but that's not such a big deal. Killing a 1 villager is worth it, even if you lose a scout, because that villager can gather a lot more resources in the meantime, even though it only costs 50 food and a scout costs 80. That's kind of a big deal, losing a villager to a scout. And in comes the Viper again on Mahori's side, not again, just for the first time actually. Going to try and pick off a villager here again, just to level things up, but I don't think he's actually going to get a villager here. Looks like Mahori's going to make it back to his TC. He's lost a scout in the process. Those 2 spearmen killing his scout cavalry off. All of his scouts, well, most of his scouts are a little bit damaged right now, and he's going to have to go up against these spearmen. So he may decide to not engage them, but he's going to go in, and he is going to lose the scout cavalry here for sure. Oh yes, he did lose another one. So far the Viper has lost 2 scout cavalries, and he's lost only killed 1 spearman, of course losing that villager as well. Mahori with more scouts, more spearmen as well, and Viper forced back to his base with very few scouts remaining. That one going to get ganged, and Viper very much down at this moment in time. Look at his score falling kind of low there, almost 100 score difference at this stage. So far then, Viper not engaging so well, losing a villager as well, but he is continuing to make scouts. He is only, well, he's got 2 villagers on gold, but no gold camp, so maybe he's not even going to get that much gold. Wonder what he was actually doing with that gold. Perhaps he's using it for upgrades or something along those lines. His spearman gonna die, not able to kill anything off right there either, and Viper losing quite a few units so far, not really making his attacks that effective just yet. I hear more research is being done. That was probably along the lines of Bitax, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's got horse collar just now as well, judging by the amount of farms he has. That is a lot of farms right there, and scale barding armor coming up as well. He's going to go really heavy into scouts, it seems, which is something we just never ever see, and that is kind of cool. Scale barding armor, of course, giving his scout cavalries +1 attack, +1 defense on melee and pierce armor, and at the moment +2 attack because he's not got forging just yet. And also as well, if he does decide to do it, he can get bloodlines and add an extra 20 HP to his scout cavalries. But for now, we're just getting scale barding armor, and he's going to get a little bit more. Oh no, he's not going to get a little bit more gold. He doesn't need more gold for forging. Forging only costs food, I'm sure. And at the moment, just kind of sitting pretty in his base. He's going to move out, it seems, very shortly. A second stable being added on. Bloodlines coming as well. I think he's going to wait for Bloodlines until he engages. But Mahori on the left-hand side now, coming in with some more scout cavalries. And Viper does have a spearman, but it's not enough to repel 6 or 7 scouts. Of course, that is just not enough. And that is 6 scouts from Mahori right there. Viper going to go and chase him down with his own. And of course, Viper does have the upgrade advantage here. Though Mahori does have Bloodlines already, Viper is going to have Bloodlines in just a second. Forging also on the way up as well, and there we go. Bloodlines done. Forging will be done. That will give him +3 attack, +20 HP, and +1 defense, which does make these scout cavalries pretty hardy and even likely that they will be able to take out 2 or 3 spearmen even, if that is the case. Viper can also see a building here, though he's not seen any archers from Mahori yet, so that could be another stable, or it could be an archery range. It's more likely to be an archery range, because that is kind of a more standard thing to do, make archers. And Viper now going to move out with his scouts. see what he can go and find. He knows exactly where Mahori's wood is. He may look to attack this area here. He doesn't know where Mahori's gold is just yet, but judging by his map, he's going to assume it's either here or perhaps here directly next to the TC. And imagine it's more likely to be over in this black area on this side. He's going to move in right now though. He's going to see that these palisades are semi-built. He's probably not going to decide to go and attack the palisades. It would take too long. It would give Mahori too much warning, and Mahori already has realized that he's there. There's the gold from Mahori and a spearman as well. He's going to go in and try and engage that. Oh, he's just actually retreating around the side. He obviously does want to be careful of town centre fire. We can see an archery range from Mahori here, and this is going to be a second archery range as well for sure. And so he knows that Mahori is now making archers and skirmishers. Judging by the number of gold collectors, looks like he's going to go pretty heavy into archers as well. And Viper will want to defend against that. 3 spearmen from Mahori on this side, 2 archers coming out as well. And Viper needs to be very careful not to lose too many scouts here. These spearmen could do a lot of damage. Looks like he's going to be able to take the spearmen out though. Those spearmen are indeed down. He's sending reinforcements across the map. And Mahori going to lose a few villagers in this situation, going to lose archers as well, and losing archers against scouts is not a good idea because archers do cost gold, of course, and gold is a very precious resource. Viper looking thin on the ground, all of his scouts pretty much damaged right now, but he is going to take down this spearman again, it seems. But another spearman coming out from Mahori, but is it going to be fast enough because Viper's bringing in more reinforcements? Mahori though attacking up Viper's base also. I don't really know how Viper managed to micro that very well at all, due to the fact being attacked in 2 locations, and he's still got his scouts in this gold line here. He's going to try and take out even more units if he can. Mahori's still making spearmen. At Viper's base, he is engaging Mahori as well. Mahori with a lot of scouts and archers, of course, and Viper will need to get more scout cavalries out in order to deal with that. It looks like he's going to be forced back to his TC, losing scouts to Mahori's over here, but he is still right in Mahori's gold here, preventing Mahori from gathering gold. A lot of scouts still there, killing off a lot of villagers as well, and he has lost a few scouts in the process, but he is going to be able to easily replenish them back at base. He's stopped Mahori's gold collection at the moment, and he's managed to kill off a lot of villagers and a lot of archers, which has really set Mahori back. Mahori though managing to kill off quite a few of Viper's scouts over on this side, not really taking many villagers. I see a couple of dead villagers over on here, and he may just be able to take out these villagers on the wood as well. Viper gonna have to be very careful not to lose too many of these. In fact, he's gonna engage with the villagers as well, continuing to make more scouts from these stables. He needs to continue to churn them out, and Mahori does still have the score lead at this moment in time. Viper just keeps dipping up ahead and then dipping down below. It's so close, trying to get on top of this hill to engage properly. More scout cavalry is coming out, engaging with villagers as well. It looks like Mahori's going to get cleaned up here, and it doesn't look like Mahori's going to have a lot left after he's lost these units, because Viper did do so much damage back at his base, and Viper now taking a huge score lead as Mahori's final unit gets cleared up at his base. Viper may decide to push out straight away with a counter. He knows that Mahori's not going to have so much left. Is he going to go and do that? Is he going to just get some scouting action in the center of the map? Not 100% sure, but Viper doing a pretty good job there with the engagement. Mahori, again, pretty good also, getting his army into this location, killing off a few villagers, really putting Viper off guard, and not retreating as soon as he saw Viper in his base. That was pretty good from him, but look at that, a lot of dead bodies on the floor next to that gold pile, and Viper looks like he's going to go push out straight away again with even more scouts. He's pretty committed to this, let's be honest. I'm going to speed things up while he heads over the map. And there we go, he's seen a couple of scouts incoming on that side. He's going to go chase them down with his own, of course. He does have the upgrade advantage, as you can see, so he'll be able to kill them off in due course. And he is, of course, going to go around the back, try and kill off even more. What can he find? What can he do? And, oh, what's this in the center? He's got his scouts out. He knows exactly what's coming. Mahori there with a lot of spearmen now added into the mix. He does not want to take too many chances against these scouts, and you can see how many spearmen he's actually been adding in there. That is what you call good reaction to what's happening on the map. Yesterday's game, Red did not react at all to what Blue was doing. In this case, Mahori is reacting very well to what the Viper's doing. He's making a lot of spearmen and he's doing the right thing. Viper's still around his base, just kind of pushing and retreating and hit and run kind of tactics on that side. Viper though as well with a lot of scout cavalry Mahori's at his base. How many has he actually got? He's got 20 on the map right now. No other units at all. Going to try and get another more villagers. He's managed to get one here. He's going to get another one on this side, losing a scout in the process, but the constant harassment to Mahori's economy is really going to slow him down and definitely delay him into the feudal castle age even. And Viper now with a lot of scouts at the back, but Mahori coming in with a few spearmen as well, and that many spearmen, if they're upgraded, at least if they're upgraded, will be able to do a ton of damage, not to mention the fact he's got the archers in there as well. A few idle villagers from Viper, not so great on that side, but I'm sure he will notice them very shortly. He can't not notice them, I'm sure of that. And a lot of scouts, I've got to say, a lot of scouts. It's 25 now on the map for Viper. He's still in Mahori's base, just being a nuisance, just poking around and avoiding the spearmen, or even engaging the spearmen if he's feeling a little bit cheeky. He's going to retreat, of course, now as he sees another one coming in. He's not confident that he's got the numbers, and he knows Mahori is floating around his base somewhere. He has seen his army a few times, and he knows he is around. He is going to continue to engage on this side, but he's still having to hit and run as there are too many spearmen in order for him to do that much damage. And even more idle villagers on this side now. He's not hit his idle villager button for a while, has he? There's 4 queued up here. He's obviously set his gather point to the wood, and he's not actually set it to the wood itself. He set it just off by accident, a misclick obviously, and I'm sure he'll set them to work very shortly. There we go, finally realising that was quite a slow reaction on that, but nevertheless he's got quite a few scouts at the moment. I've said that quite a few times, quite a few, but that is undeniably and unquestionably a lot of scout cavalries, and it's unusual to see that many in a Hun War game. And in comes Mahori from the left hand side, quite a lot of archers on that side as well, with +1 attack, and his spearmen have +1 attack also. That's also a hell of a lot of spearmen there, and that is a force to be reckoned with for the Viper, killing off a couple of villagers. Mahori with a nice little attack. You're going to get 2, 3, and no, he's not going to get 4. He's going to go over to this wood camp on this side though. Is Viper going to decide to engage? Well, he's got a lot of scout cavalries, but that's also a fair few spearmen. Is he going to engage head on? That's the question. Of course, the spearmen will soak up the fire, and well, they will distract the scout cavalries, and the archers will be able to attack from behind. He is engaging right now. Let's see how many scouts he's losing. They are dying pretty quickly, but I've got to say it does look like Viper is going to actually win this engagement. He's absolutely mobbing Mahori here. Mahori doesn't know what's hit him, and so many scout cavalry's just there. I don't even think Viper lost many units there at all, and I would go as far as to say he lost 2 scouts in that engagement. Mahori losing his whole army, and Viper, the mass numbers that he has is just enough to completely decimate what Mahori had, or completely wipe out what Mahori had there. His economy, pretty good. He's got a lot of farms out right now. He's going to continue to make scout cavalries all the way through, and he is going to push out at this moment in time. Mahori, let's just check. No, he's not castle yet. I thought perhaps he'd be castle right now, but no, he is not. But Viper going to move straight back out across the map again with a huge number of scouts here, seeing what he can go and do. He could even take out a building with these guys. That's how many he's got. A lot of archers, well, a few archers on the left. Mahori probably going to lose them. He's being chased down. God, lol. He's just like, what? And Mahori reaching castle age right there. Probably a bad decision to go up, because he lost his army and then was advancing up to castle. He knows now that Viper gonna have a huge army advantage, and Viper will be able to, well, in my opinion, just push against Mahori here, because he knows Mahori isn't going to have much army left. He's probably got this and not much else, because right now Viper has got the score lead, and he's probably going to take out these archers as well in this little corner. He's advancing up to Castle Age himself, and I want to see what he does when he gets Castle. I imagine he's going to upgrade like cavalry. He'd be mad not to. He's going to now move in. He sees pikemen from Mahori. Got to be careful. Pikemen going to be pretty darn strong against scout cavalry. They have extra attack, extra HP, and that could be a real nuisance to deal with. So Viper's just going to rally around the outside of Mahori's base, keep an eye on what's going on the map, watch out for any attacks until he advances up to the castle age. And once he gets castle, I imagine we'll see light cavalry and maybe even more cavalry upgrades. If he does get them, then he could even go face to face with the pikemen in this situation. Castle Age in just a moment. 2 scouts around the back here, I think. Yeah, 2 scouts. And he's going to see exactly what Mahori's doing. He sees open wood camp over here. He knows he can attack that. And how many pikemen has he got? Well, that is a hell of a lot of pikemen right there. And he can see he's going for cavalry archers also. Good scouting information to get. He's pushing out across the map with 40 scout cavalry now. He is getting light cavalry upgrade. He's getting husbandry as well. That's kind of important. I'm surprised he's not got that already. And chain barding armor also. Looks like he's going to even engage those pikemen head on. He's feeling pretty confident. There's the light cavalry upgrade. Extra HP on those guys. Extra attack on those guys. And chain barding armor going to be done in just a second. Once that is done, he will be able to even engage the pikeman head on. He's just waiting for chain barding armor now. There's chain barding armor. No, it's not. I thought that was chain barding armor. Chain barding armor is there. Now he can go and engage. He's going to try and break down these walls first. But so many scouts. Just unbelievable how many scouts he actually has. Is he going to turn around or is he going to wait for the next one as well? He's getting iron casting at the moment. And cavalry archers from Mahori coming in at the side of the Viper's base, being a real nuisance, killing off a few villagers, denying him any gold. But here comes the Viper with the light cavalry, going to engage with the pikemen as well. He may just be able to kill them off as well. That's the major thing about this. He's got light cavalry against pikemen, but he's got the upgrades he needs. He's going to have +2 attack in just a moment. He's going to steamroll through Mahori right here. He's even going to take out his cavalry archers, and there really is not a lot Mahori can do, even with that number of pikemen. A lot of dead scout cavalries on the field right there, dropped down to 30 now, but he is going to continue to harass. He's going to be able to kill off villagers extremely quickly. Mahori with the last stand in his base. Viper with the knight is going to clear things up very quickly, and Mahori saying nice game, GG from him. Viper going to take it. What a great game that was, and I am incredibly impressed by the Viper's persistence on the light cavalry there. The scout cavalry upgraded to light cavalry, +2 attack, +2 defense with bloodlines, and they really did do so much damage. The constant harassment from them and the constant just sort of like hit and run on Mahori's base. Mahori really struggled with his economy that game, and it delayed him up to the castle age whilst still making a lot of, you know, sort of archers and skirmishers. It really just didn't really work out for Mahori going with these archery ranges. I think upgrading to castle when he did was probably a bad idea. He should have continued to keep the pressure on, but Viper with so many scouts at that stage, not a lot that Mahori could do, of course, against scouts with only pikemen. They are just too slow, and even the Vipers like cavalry managed to take them down. So very good game from him, very well played, and yeah, thank you very much for watching. I have been Zach, and I will see you guys next time.